Hey guys, and welcome again to the Dojo Gym. Today we're going to be looking at the legs program, the first one that I'm uploading. And as always, we want to do some light stretching before we start to work. We need to get those joints juicy so they don't hurt when we put them under stress. So just a single hand foothold here, working on balance at the same time. You do want to strengthen your stabilizing structures. Keep yourself injury-free, or at least in the right direction. This one is very nice for the hips and the glutes. Hold that and breathe a little bit. Little movement of the knee just to open the hip up a little further. Now we grab the dowel rod or anything you have at home that's similar. Take the end of a mop or a broom. And this is just to train your postural muscles, train the form so that as you squat down, you don't bend forward and leave the back open to injury and unnecessary stress. So 3 points of contact on the stick, your head, your back, and your tail. And as you can see, we're keeping the head up. Breathe in on the way down, exhale on the way up, all the way to the toes. We want to talk to the structures through the knees, the ankles, all the way down to the toes. That's why we do this without shoes as well. We really want those structures to do their job. Little pause at the end, top and bottom, and we'll switch sides. Inhale down, exhale all the way up to the toes. You really want to squeeze. Have a nice mental connection to the muscles you're working on. Don't just think of anything. Think of the muscles you're working. Squeeze through the movement. You get more benefits this way, even if you don't have weights. You can use this principle on pretty much any movement. We're going to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, pause at top and bottom, especially at the end. And we're on to the weighted squats, the dumbbell squats. Doesn't take a lot of weight. As long as you're focused on these basics, you have all the markers in place, the good posture, head up, tail out, shoulders back, good mind-muscle connection, thinking about those muscles. You're going to make this weight seem a lot more difficult, and it's going to be a lot more effective. Flexion is protection where the spine is concerned. I like to give you the side view first so you can see how all that comes together. Same thing here. It's very important that you get as deep as possible. You really want to try to get that upper leg, your thighs, horizontal to the ground. This is what really activates certain structures in your thighs, hips, and knees. You will feel it. If you haven't done them like this before, you will definitely feel the difference. Proving again that lightweight can get you there. Of course, I'm going to go up in weight a little bit. These are now the 40-pound dumbbells. Should be very challenging. Should be a struggle, but not so much that your form falls apart. You can cut back on the number of reps if you want. Take short breaks. Just pause sets, a little pause and keep going. Pause and keep going. You don't have to go straight through. you'll notice that the muscle fatigue sets in, and you'll think you can't go any further. But all you really need to do is stretch those muscles out, wash away the lactic acid, and you'll be able to continue. Always be careful picking up weights. You want to squat when you do it. Don't just bend down. This should be getting really tough now. These pauses are super important. There's a little bit of isometric theory thrown right in there with your reps. Now we're going to lighten the weight a little bit again, and we're going to catch some air. This is where you're going to really start to dig in and find a new level of intensity. Stay mentally strong. Don't stop when that first voice in your head tells you to stop, just because it's uncomfortable. You get to that next level, you made progress for tomorrow. Even I need a little break right here. Inhale down, exhale up as you jump. Yes, I lost my count. And now without the weights. Jump squats are tough on a good day. At the end of this program, you'll turn your legs to rubber. Just do your best. You'll notice I'm not getting super deep here. I mean, at this point, I might have fallen over if I did. So you just do your best. Nice. Now we're going to move on to the posterior chain. Let's get these glutes up in the air here, flexed, and also their relationship to the hamstrings here. I hold this for 30 seconds. You guys feel free to go for a full minute. But there's a whole sequence here, so don't get ahead of yourself. Try the 30 seconds first. And don't let your lower back tighten up on you. Engage your lower abs, tuck your tail under, squeeze those glutes to get the hips up. Your lower back will want to participate. Don't let it. Single leg here. Pretty self-explanatory. You will feel the burn. I like to put my hands up over my head occasionally just to help encourage the hips to push a little higher. But I also don't want that weight to slide up my chest. I want it to stay right there on my hips and stomach. That was 30. Go to the other side. Just concentrate on your breathing here. It's going to burn. You might even be trembling a little bit. Just focus on that breathing. Number one rule, deep inhale. Deep, slow inhale. Just fill your lungs. And try to keep that breathing pattern slow. Now we'll move to a regressed version. Still keeping that burn going. It's a little easier this way. The heel placed right on top of the opposite knee. You're still pushing in with both feet. But it's just a little easier. Seconds. Other side. Keep that breathing pattern slow and deep. Final push here. Just another 30 seconds. back to the basic first pose. We got both sides working together again. Tuck, and a little bit of a rocking motion. This will help stretch all that back out. There's going to be a little tension in the lower back, regardless of how well you held that form. So this feels really nice, this rocking back and forth. Nice little massage that the floor is helping you with. Nice, roll over, come back up to the feet. Good techniques, picking up the weights, save your back. Now the deadlift is a very effective movement, but it takes a little while for people to figure out the form. And really, it's the same thing with squats. You want to flex your entire spine, stick your tail out, and your chest forward. But here you want to keep those knees straight. So as you bend forward, you're going to start feeling the pull from the hammies and the glutes, maybe even your calves. So you feel that pull, pause just a moment and come back up by squeezing the glutes and pushing the hips forward. You do not want to reach for the floor here. If you round your back and reach for the floor, you defeat the movement altogether. We want to feel some heat in these hamstrings. And this resisted stretch, it's a beautiful way to build muscle tone, build muscle mass, as a matter of fact. And hamstrings are a tough one. We've tried a lot of leg curl techniques, but those on their own, they won't really get you there. It's the lengthening phase. That's where the magic happens. Inhale down, exhale up. Check the shoulder position. Little pause. Well, this is actually a longer pause. And it's up to you how long. Don't go too long. 10, 20 seconds tops. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even really recommend 20 unless you've been doing this a while. You're going to feel some pain in a couple of days from the muscle soreness. So I go up in weight. That's optional for you. But after I've done some of them at a lighter weight, I'm ready for more resistance. My hamstrings are more familiar with this movement now. And don't let this movement hurt your back. Keep your spine flexed. Flexion is protection. Tail out, chest forward. It's the only way you can do this for a length of time and not have it break you down. There we are. Those shoulders will start burning, guys. We're working our hammies, but make no mistake, those shoulders will burn, shoulders and traps. I'm circling the hip joints here. Get rid of that lactic acid. Gotta finish them out. Always paying attention to the bottom of that motion. You should really feel your hamstrings lighting up in that position. And just give them that moment, each rep. Big pause at the end. Nice job. So after we've worked the muscle, we want to stretch the muscle. So we're going to hit all these leg muscles here. This is a great one. Comes from yoga, bound angle. Knees out, fingers locked around the feet. chest up, deep breathing. Now, if your inner thighs, your adductors are tight, your knees are going to be in a higher position than you see here. That's okay, just keep at it. You might even put a light weight on your knees, balance a book, or, 2 equal weight items, one on either knee, just to help encourage that stretch. Sit in front of your couch with your back up against the couch. While you're watching TV, maybe spend some time in that position. Here we've got the single leg stretch. I've taken a big breath and reached up into the sky to get the length in my torso so that I'm not just crunching down towards the foot. I want to reach up and then reach forward. Bring the chest forward, up and over the hips. Relax the shoulders, let the elbows sink towards the floor. So if you're able to reach your foot and pull, this will be the safest way to do it without involving your neck. If you can't reach your feet, just grab a bath towel or a pillowcase, wrap it around the foot and grab it with both hands. And just use caution, patience and perseverance. Lengthening upward and forward. Definitely want to take your time on these stretches. You spend all that time moving the weight around and creating the fire. This is the other half of what those muscles need. They need that lengthening experience. Deep quad stretch. Most people can get into the first position. Just pull that foot behind you. Try to pull the knee out to the side as best you can. And then relax down onto the opposite elbow behind you. I'm going down to the other elbow. Some people are extremely flexible and will just lay down in this position. As long as your knee stays on the floor, then you can do that. You're flexible enough. But if you go to lay down, or if you even go to put that second elbow down, and that knee starts to come up, then you have to come back up to the one elbow. You're not ready yet. You do not want to overstress the patellar tendon. But if you take your time, listen to your body, do this often enough, get good results. Keep those muscles healthy. Once you get the position, go ahead and just lean back. Try to open up the anterior in front of the hip. That's where your quads are originating from. So you definitely want to address this stretch from the hip as well as down at the knee where they attach. Get enough of that, so we're going to cross the right over the left here. Lock the left elbow inside that knee. Reach back and put your palm on the floor. Sit up nice and straight. Lower the shoulders. And with an exhale, you get a nice twist here, a nice oblique stretch. All the way down to the lower back. This can also help stretch out and open up the rhomboids, muscles around the scapula. Other side, same thing. Take a nice breath, and as you exhale, just push gently. So I'm going to keep that figure 4 position, rock back. No, that's not where that hand goes, Will. That's the way. Lace through the figure 4 and around the other side of it, and just kind of pull that knee up towards your chest. This stretches so many important areas. And if you have sciatic pain, you probably already know this stretch. And if you don't, here you go. nice way to stretch out that area. We all need it eventually. Switching sides, just try to relax back. Tendency is to hold your head up and look down at what you're doing, but try to just relax into it. That's a big key to stretching. Spend enough time that your body actually submits to the pose, the position. Just relax into it. That way you know you've stretched the deepest fibers. And you send a strong message to your body as well. One of love. It's not just about annihilating the muscles. Actually, you want to stimulate the muscles, not annihilate them anyway. Child's pose here. I've also heard it called puppy pose. Thread the needle. This is another favorite. If you haven't done this before, try it out. Keep that right elbow at 90 and that right palm on the floor is going to give you the power to gently push into this. And you'll feel all kinds of good stuff stretching all through the torso and in the back. Switching sides. And guess what, guys? That is about it. This program only ran about 20 minutes, but it wore me down. I hope it helps you. And if you like the music on any of my videos, the links are always in the description. That's my music. So go ahead and grab a track for yourself.